2 Kings 9:18 through 37. So there went out on horseback to meet him and said, Thus says the king, Is it peace? And Jehu said, What hast thou to do with peace? Turn behind me. And the watchman told, saying, The messenger came to them, but he cometh not again. Then he went out a second on horseback, which came to them and said, Is it thus says the king, Is it peace? And Jehu said, What hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, He came even to them, cometh not again, and is driving like the driving of Jehu the son of Nimshi, for he driveth furiously. And Joram said, Make ready his chariot. And his chariot was made ready. And Joram, king of Israel, and Uzziah, king of Judah, went out, each in his chariot. And they went out against Jehu, and met him in the portion of Naboth the Jezreelite. And it came to pass, when Joram saw Jehu, that he said, Is it peace? And he answered, What peace, so long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and the witchcrafts are so many? And Joram turned his hands and fled, and said, Uzziah, there is treachery, O Uzziah. And Jehu drew his bow with full strength, and smote Jehoram between his arms, and the arrow went out of his heart, and he sunk down in his chariot. Then said Jehu to Bidkar his captain, Take up and cast him in the portion of the field of Naboth the Jezreelite, for remember how that when I and thou rode together after Abab his father, the Lord laid his burden upon him. Surely I have seen yesterday the blood of Naboth and the blood of his sons, saith the Lord. Now I will require thee in this plat, saith the Lord. Now therefore take and cast him into the ground, according to the word of the Lord. But when Ahaziah the king of Judah saw this, he fled by way of the garden house, and Jehu followed after him, and said, Smite him also in the chariot. And they did so at the going up of Gur, which is by Ibleam. And he fled to Megiddo and died there. And his servants carried him in his chariot to Jerusalem, and buried him in the sepulchre of his fathers in the city of David. And in the 11th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, began Ahaziah to reign over Judah. And when Jehu had come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it. She painted her face and tied her head, and looked out a window. And as Jehu entered the gate, she said, Had Zimri peace? Who slew his master? And he lifted up his face in the window, and said, Who is on my side? And there looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs. And he said, Throw her down. So they threw her down. Some of the blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses. And he trode her under foot. And then when he was come in, he did eat and drink, and said, Go see now this cursed woman, and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull, the feet, and the palms of her hands. Wherefore they came and told him, and he said, This is the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, In the portion of Jezreel shall the dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel, and the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the field in the portions of Jezreel, so that they shall not say, This is Jezebel.